we're getting out. We officially made it to the church, and we're gonna see what type of food we can get today. And this is Mayra getting the little shower the munchkin. Ay, esa nena linda. I see the back of heads, I need faces.
Yeah, look at her.
Juju. Hi, Nana. So, say hi.
The experts are out there and they're in the neighborhood and they know how these programs and policies work better than any of us because they have to live it out every day. Almost 17% of the households with children in the United States experienced food insecurity in 2007. And food insecurity is the lack of access to enough food for an active and healthy life.
In the year 2008, working off and on, going to school, I believe I received a total of $3,500 in food stamps. That's approximately $291 a month, $75 a week, to feed myself and 2 children. Most of the time, the market stores, their produce and their whole grains and their nutritious foods are not really put at a sale price that's affordable for low-income families. So you're stuck buying the 12 case of oodles and noodles for $1.99, or the 5 for $5 cans of Chef Boyardee, or the 5 for $5 boxes of frozen microwave TV dinners for your kids.
Food stamps, it's just not enough. If you break it down, like she said, for 2 people you get about $367, and if you break that down on a daily, you have about $14 to eat for 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's not including snacks, that's not including, you know, beverages, none of that. I don't know anyone in this room who's gonna tell me that they can eat their breakfast, lunch, and dinner and have a healthy, satisfying meal with $14 a day for 2 people, okay? You can't do that. I can't. If I wanna buy fresh produce or fresh fruit from my local supermarket, we have to settle for the nastiest produce out there. It's rotten, or it's getting there, it's moldy, and I still have to pay the full price for it. So I'd rather just get the cans. They cut my food stamps when I was pregnant because I was working. I had to work my whole pregnancy. And they said because I made about $700 or $800 a month that was too much for one person. And so I must have ate like ramen noodles and cornflakes like 2 or 3 weeks right before I gave birth. It was the worst. It was the worst. I was so hungry. And I was trying to make sure, you know, that even though I didn't have the resources, that my son wouldn't have to feel that, you know. I mean, I don't know if anybody's in here ever felt hungry, but it's not pleasant. It's horrible. And so, yeah, it's been more than a couple times that I can tell you that my son says, "Mommy, Mommy, I'm hungry," or "Mommy, I want juice," and I don't have anything in that fridge, anything. I have to go to a neighbor's house, or I have to go to a friend's house to get something to eat. I personally don't have any relatives here in Philadelphia. So like, it's not like I can knock on Mom's door and say, "Mom, I'm hungry," or "Dad, I'm hungry." It's just me. So where does that leave the thousands of other people just like me who have no resources?
The oldest one goes to Catholic school, and she's on what we call reduced lunch. So she doesn't have to pay full price for her lunch, but she does have to pay a reduced price. I think it's like 40 cents a day or something like that. But if the 40 cents a day for her lunch is not paid, then she doesn't get fed hot lunch. She has to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So if you don't pay for lunch, then they give your child a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Why do our kids have to pay for it? It's stupid too. So they should be getting their meals for free anyway. This is America, you know. Isn't this supposed to be like country great land? You know, like I mean, and it shouldn't be just based on your neighborhood. I don't care where you live at. It should be a nationwide thing.
There is not a single community in the United States of America that is hunger-free. And as a congressman and as a citizen of this country, I'm ashamed of that fact, and every one of you should be too. This is in our face. We're not reading about this, we're seeing it. There's no longer any excuse for us not to try to fix this situation. I tell people all the time that hunger is a political condition. We have everything we need to end it. We just don't have the political will. And Witnesses to Hunger, this whole project, I think is making this issue more real for members of Congress. I hope they keep on coming up here and coming up here and coming up here until we start doing what we need to do, not only to end hunger, but to end poverty.
It was a hunch that that the women that I talked to would have something to say and have something to teach us and to teach me. And I was right. As you can see, we have 3 brilliant women that are 3 out of 42, which if you magnify that times how many mothers are out there that have a young child in America, that's millions and millions of women like these 3 extraordinary women. So I have learned a lot from their wisdom, and they have taught me so many things. And I think that really it comes down to something very fundamental, which is basic human dignity. And keeping the human being at the center of all that you do. So if you're working on policies and programs related to housing, or if you're working on child nutrition reauthorization, that's okay, you're working on a little chunk of it. But if you don't keep the human being at the center, you're missing the whole point. It's keep the child at the center, the human being at the center. And I learned this over and over again from the women and from hearing all of their stories, that it's really about making sure that we're protecting and promoting basic human dignity.